Smithville Outlets, because I live about 20 minutes away.
I'd like to call this meeting to order. And I'd also like to remind the public that this meeting is being televised on Spectrum and Greenlight Channel 22 and live streamed through the Wilson County's YouTube channel. The public can also view the meeting by downloading the Wilson County Schools TV 22 app and through the links on the district's Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter pages and the website. Can I get a motion for the approval of the agenda?
Mr. Chair,
Mrs. Powell?
I move that we approve the agenda for the Wilson County Board of Education meeting of April 14th, 2025.
Second.
All right. We have a motion to approve the agenda by Ms. Powell and seconded by Mrs. Boyette and Dr. Fitch. Is there any discussion? All in favor, aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Ayes have it, motion carries unanimously. Going to give it to Mr. Breen for the Pledge of Allegiance and moment of silence.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Next on our agenda, we have the approval of the minutes.
Mr. Chair,
Mrs. Boyette.
for the regular, minutes, on page 2, there was one change I noted. Eli Kicklighter is listed as a Rock Ridge Elementary student, and as much as we loved him when he was there, he's at Hunt now, so he might want to be recognized as being a student at Hunt.
All right. So,
With that change, Mr. Chair, I move that we approve the Wilson County Board of Education regular board minutes for March 17th, 2025, and also the Wilson County Board of Education special meeting held on April 7th, 2025.
Second.
all right, it has been moved by Mrs. Boyette, seconded by Ms. Powell and Dr. Fitch, that we approve the minutes for the regular board meeting of March 17th, 2025, and the special meeting of April 7th, 2025. Is there any discussion? All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Ayes have it. Motion carries unanimously. Good news presentations. Dr. Mills and Mr. Breen.
Board members, audience members, tonight we've got a couple recognitions. For the Human Relations Award winners, I'd like to recognize Sharon High Jones and Eli Kicklighter. Sharon High Jones, an exceptional children's teacher at Fike High, and Eli Kicklighter, a sophomore at Hunt High. We got that, Ms. Boyette. Were recognized recently at the 2025 Human Relations Award ceremony. Ms. High Jones received the Wilson Committee for Persons with Disabilities Educator of the Year Award, a well-deserved recognition of her passion, dedication, and outstanding contributions to students with exceptional needs. With 23 years of teaching experience, she is not only an incredible educator, but also a mentor, advocate, and true leader in our community. Her impact reaches far beyond the classroom, and her commitment inspires those around her. Sharon here? Hiding back there. I thought she was hiding.
Well, now you gotta come.
Now you got to come up. I left you alone just for a little bit, but you can come hang out. And you have to stay up here for a few minutes. No. Eli. Yes, you can. Yeah, okay, here we go. Come on up and you can stay too.
Congratulations on your recent promotion.
Yeah. From Rock Ridge to Hunt that quick, that's quite impressive.
It's like Billy Madison.
Let me tell you about Eli. Eli received the Human Relations Youth Community Service Award, a testament to his compassion, initiative, and dedication to helping others. In addition to volunteering with the Rock Ridge 4-H Club and summer camps, Eli went above and beyond by organizing a supply drive to support students and staff after Springfield Middle School was damaged by a tornado. His selflessness and drive to make a difference at such a young age are truly commendable. We are so proud of both of them and are incredibly grateful for their service. So congratulations and thank you both. Now, of course, it's time for pictures.
They don't need to see my dumb fat face in the pictures. Thank you so much for your hard work and service.
And board members, audience members, at this time, we'd like to recognize some folks that are part of our United Way Award winners, and I would ask them to come forward. Marcia Spell, Amy Galeazzi, Nicole Boyce, Amber Lynch, Samantha Charles Dixon, Ashley Watkins, Lisa Ellis, and Lisa Temple.
Oh, I think I get to take a picture. I'm sorry, I was playing around.
And you have to stand up here and wait too. I know. And let me tell you about these folks. We're excited to recognize the success of our 2024 Wilson County Schools United Way campaign. As an entire district, we raised over $40,000, which was an 18% increase from the previous year. We're grateful for our staff's financial generosity, which made this possible. Each school, as well as our central office administrative services departments, had their own campaign led by coordinators, 8 of which are standing before you tonight. These coordinators went above and beyond, earning awards from the United Way of Wilson for the success of their campaign. Marcia Spell from Wilson Early College Academy won Gold Award status. Amy from Stantonburg, Silver Award status. Nicole from Wales, Silver Award status. Amber from Central Office, Silver Award status. Samantha Daniels, Bronze Award status. Lisa from Watt, Bronze Award status. Ashley from Rock Ridge, Bronze Award status. And Lisa from Vic, Bronze Award status. That's a lot of statuses right there. Stat-I, maybe, who knows? Congratulations. We cannot thank these coordinators enough for their hard work and dedication to the United Way. We know how hard it is with all the many other responsibilities you have. Coordinating any work in a school is additional responsibilities, but also tracking down folks and doing those extra things. It's always fun. We know that. But also because of the success of our district campaign, Wilson County Schools was recognized as a campaign of impact in our region by the United Way of North Carolina, and Amber Lynch, who oversees our district campaign, was recognized as the Campaign Coordinator of the Year by United Way of Wilson County. So congratulations. So everyone had a part in all that for our district. So I want to commend all of our schools, and especially those up here tonight, for the work they did for the campaign this year. We're proud of supporting United Way and the work they do to contribute to positive changes for the folks in our community. And thank you for all the hard work that you do every day in our schools. We really appreciate you. Thank you. All right. Thank you.
All right, next on our agenda, we have the chairman's report. And I've just got a few things. I'd like to congratulate all of our students that participated in the 4-H livestock show and sale. Mrs. Powell, Mrs. Boyette, and myself were there at the banquet the day before cheering on our district's program. I'd also like to thank Robin Williams and the WEP board for the beginning teacher luncheon that they had last week. We're very thankful for them, and we're also very thankful for our beginning teachers. It's noteworthy that our April 7th special board meeting was very productive. Ms. Collins created a new format for our budget. It's much easier to read. Thank you. Also, Frederick Douglass is moving along very quickly, so that's great news. I'd like to congratulate Frederick Douglass Elementary on being identified as a North Carolina STEM School of Distinction. It's our first Wilson County school to achieve this status. There were, I think there's 54 in total since 2014. Lastly, I just want to say that This will be our last meeting before Easter and spring break. So we'd like to wish everybody a happy and safe Easter and spring break. I will give it to Dr. Mills for the superintendent's report.
Mr. Chair, board members, audience members, just a few things. Since our last regular board meeting, we've celebrated National Assistant Principals Week. We've hosted an exciting district symposium event, which was a big event for students and families. Again, congratulations to Frederick Douglass for their recognition across the state. That is indeed rare air. One of only, I think, 3 in our region, and we're in a region with several large districts with Wake and others, so that's standout success. We also held our career fair. If you remember back in March 22nd, the career fair was a success. We had more than 90 candidates that came and attended to learn more about job opportunities that we have. And we had some contingency contracts on site and had a chance to interview folks. I want to thank the entire Human Resource Services team for the work they did organizing the fair, and our school and departmental leaders for the work they did in making our future family members feel welcome. We had departmental representatives across the district there, and it really was, I think, the best one I've attended yet. It really was a great event. I loved it, and I thought it was our best one to date. So I also want to thank our Facility Services Department and the folks from Dartmouth for hosting and their work in doing that. So it's still not too late. If you want to work for us, let us know. And we're always looking for great employees, and visit our employment page on the district website. And as Mr. Boykin said, next week is spring break for our traditional schools. Seems like it's very late this year, and it's coming at a very good time. As most families may tell you, and I know I will tell you, it needs to come. And I want to wish our students and staff a very safe and relaxing break. And I hope that everyone comes back ready to finish the year strong, and it will go extremely fast from here to the end. The early colleges only have a few weeks left of their school year, and then Awards Day will be coming up May 2nd. And then we're going to have Teacher Appreciation Week, which is really the first week in May. And then pretty soon we'll be talking about graduations and wrapping up another school year, which is hard to believe, but it is that time of year. So, Mr. Chair, that is my report.
All right, thank you. Next on the agenda, we have public input. And I'll remind everybody that each person is granted 3 minutes for his or her presentation. This portion of the meeting is for the board to hear matters of interest from the public. However, obscene and vulgar statements, personal attacks, and statements reasonably perceived to be disruptive or imminently threatening to the orderly operation of the meeting shall not be permitted. Today, we have 3 people signed up. The first one is Travis Driver. All right, I don't see Mr. Driver. So secondly, we have Dr. Bayo.
Hello, folks.
Dr. Bayo.
I have some questions and I have a statement to make. Obviously, the questions are something I do on a regular basis. Are the transgender girls permitted to participate on girls' sports teams, allowed to use girls' bathrooms, and permitted to use girls' locker rooms? Do the Wilson County Public Schools provide bathrooms designated specifically for transgender girls and transgender boys? Do the WASH clinics offer education on contraceptive methods and either provide or facilitate access to both birth control for students? After every visit a student has with the WASH clinic, do the personnel communicate with the parents of that student? If so, by what means is the communication conducted? And how do WASH clinics manage cases involving students with gender dysphoria? Are mental health professionals involved in these situations? Are the students' parents contacted? Are social services engaged? And what, if any, other personnel and organizations are involved in these cases? And I'd like to read a statement. If you sit in any sexual addictive recovery group, Adults will recall the first time that they saw porn as a child. Quote, "They felt disgust, horror, shameful, shocked, excited and confused, aroused and didn't know what to do," end quote. 90% of critical brain development happens before the age of 5. Exposure to porn traumatizes kids' brains. Children have no way to process porn. The development of prefrontal cortex that helps with decision-making, planning, and impulse control isn't complete until the age of 25. The brain cannot differentiate between explicit material, whether it's in the form of cartoons, drawings, pictures, or videos. Our brain sees all sexual material in the same way. When a child sees porn, they develop a bond through oxytocins and vasopressin hormones. Kids are driven by the dopamine porn that dopamine porn gives them. Kids are naturally curious and they will seek it out. Learning is negatively impacted by porn. Kids become potential predators. Thank you, folks.
Thank you, Dr. Vega. Our third speaker is Ebony Arrington. All right, I guess Miss Arrington is not here. So, fellow board members, we have 5 different ways that we can respond to the speaker. We can direct the chairman to respond on behalf of the board. We can direct administration to respond to the concern. We can refer the matter to a board committee. We can refer the matter to administration, or we can place the matter of concern on the agenda for a future meeting.
Mr. Chair,
Ms. Powell.
I believe it's best to direct the administration to respond to the input from Dr. Bear.
I agree.
That's the consensus. All right. Dr. Mills?
Yes, sir. I'll take care of that.
Thank y'all very much. And next on the agenda, we have our committee reports. And first up is Administrative Services, which I will hand over to Mr. Broom.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Administrative Services Committee convened today at 3:30 p.m. The first thing we discussed was cafeteria improvements and the schedule laid out for 2025-2026 school year. The focus in 2025-2026 is going to be middle and high school cafeterias and getting new seatings. Right now, we've got those weird circle seats. We're going to get rid of all the circle seats and go to bench-style seating. We're also working on new seating for teachers in the dining room, line partitions, and condiment canisters. We're also looking at painting the cafeterias in 2025. Additionally, we're gonna try to get water stations in the middle and high school cafeterias, or at least in and around that area. Also adding digital signage in our cafeterias, which will assist in getting out messages and other important announcements and district-wide messages throughout the day. Lastly, for 2025-2026, we're going to get 3 new dishwashers, or work on getting 3 new dishwashers in our high schools. All these things are going to be funded from our school nutrition fund. And then 2026-2027 is when we'll start working on elementary school seating. Members of the committee did not miss that. The next thing we received information on were 3 contracts. The first is with UniFirst Uniforms in the amount of $46,531.68. That is the first year of a 2-year rollover. Originally, we had a contract with UniFirst for 3 years that had an option for a 2-year rollover. This is the first year of those 2 years. Those uniforms will be for facility services, school nutrition, transportation, and our custodial staff at our schools. The next contract we received information regarding was with Brain, and that was for 200 14-inch chairs and 400 16-inch chairs. These aren't necessarily going directly into the schools, however, they'll be used to replace and replenish chairs as they become broken across the district. That was in the amount of $36,095.38. The UniFirst contract and the Brain contract are both coming from local funds. The last contract we received information regarding was with Universal Equipment Company, and that was for teacher seating in dining rooms, tables, condiment containers at the middle school and high school level. That was in the amount of $46,215.28. That will be paid for from school nutrition funds. Did I read that in there? Good. All right. And then, Mr. Chair, if we can go ahead and proceed to action items.
Yes, sir.
We had two contracts that required the board approval. That's because they exceed the $90,000 range. Mr. Chair,
Mr. Burton.
upon the recommendation of the Administrative Service Committee, I move that we approve contracts with White's International in the amount of $159,507.14 for a new fuel truck, and with Universal Equipment Company for new middle school cafeteria seating in the amount of $225,626.80.
All right. It's been moved by Mr. Breen and seconded by Mr. Batts that we approve the contracts with White's International Trucks for the purchase of a new fuel truck for $159,507.14, and the contract with Universal Equipment Company for dining room seating for middle schools in the amount of $225,626.80. Is there any discussion? All right, all in favor? Aye. All opposed? Ayes have it. Motion carries unanimously. Mr. Breen.
Thank you. Our next action item is request for qualifications for the design build of security vestibules at Hunt, Fike, and Elm City Middle School. This is something that we've sort of had working for quite some time. The plan is to apply for and receive public school building renovation and repair funding from the state. From the state. Mr. Chair,
Yes, sir.
I move that we direct administration to issue a request for qualifications for the design and build portion of the security vestibules at Hunt, Fike, and Elm City Middle Schools.
All right, it has been moved by Mr. Breen, seconded by Dr. Fitch and Mr. Batts, that we direct administration to move forward with a request for qualifications for the design build of security vestibules at Hunt High School, Fike High School, and Elm City Middle School. Is there any discussion? All in favor, aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Ayes have it, motion carries unanimously. Mr. Breen.
The last action item that we had were three budget amendments, one for the state expense fund, one for the local special revenue fund, and the last for the federal expense fund. For the state expense fund, the budget amendment reflects monies that we received. We got $200,000 for a safety grant, and transportation received an additional $6,771. With local revenue, we've got very blessed to receive additional funding from a myriad of sources in a myriad of amounts. And then the federal expense fund, we're just reconciling what we have versus what we haven't been given. That being said, Mr. Chair,
Mr. Breen.
I move that we adopt the budget amendments as set forth by administration to the state expense fund, the local special revenue fund, and the federal expense fund.
All right, it's been moved by Mr. Breen, seconded by Dr. Fitch and Mr. Batts, that we approve the budget amendments for the state expense fund, the local special revenue fund, and the federal expense fund. Is there any discussion? All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Ayes have it, motion carries unanimously.
And Mr. Chair, that concludes our report.
All right, thank you, Mr. Breen. Next up, we have Instructional Services Committee with Ms. Boyette.
We begin with the contracts requiring board notification. Yeah. Requiring board notification, meaning that they are $90,000 or below. Let me see that. The first of these is for Pathful Incorporated, which is a Explore renewal for middle schools, high schools, and the 2 early colleges for $35,530. It's with E-rate funding, except what, the E-rate funding should cover all of it except for $11,000, and that would come from technology. The next one is Encore Technology Group to replace the cabling at Gardner's Elementary. It'll be done during the summertime, and the amount on that is $74,498.36. The third one is EDIA, and it's for math instructional resource for 6 through 8. This was something we used using ESSER funds previously, and it was successful, so would like to continue that with textbook funding. Newsela Incorporated, literary instructional resources for K-8. I believe it was used 6-8 previously, and this year we want to use it K-8, so that amount is $77,678.08. And those are the 4 items that are for board notification. Any questions? The next item we have is a first read policy on revised policy 43, 34, 50, 53, 73, 45, use of unmanned aircraft drones. And the main changes in this had to do with statutes and making it match everything with recommended by the School Boards Association. So that is a first reading. The second item was revised policy 4342, student searches, and once again, it is a first reading. We did have a number of questions that we asked administration to look into, checking with our attorney and responding back to us on the second read regarding several issues in this one, but it is a first read for tonight. Any questions? And that concludes the items for notification. All right, so now we'll move into the action items. Contracts requiring board approval. The first of these is the AYA, which I just turned over on, that was moved in our committee meeting. Have you got yours on hand? Thank you, sir. Is a contract with AYA, and I'm moving that we approve these contracts with AYA for exceptional children contracted personnel not to exceed $90,000. The next one is Dragonfly Vision LLC, and this is for exceptional children contracted personnel, specifically our visually impaired, not to exceed $90,000. Next is with Instructure. This is our master review, predictive assessments, the item bank, Desmos tools, and Master Connect subscription that we use with our benchmarks and formative assessments in the amount of $142,725.13. Next item is with Lexia. This is for the Power Up Literacy Students subscription renewals. Also, something we're familiar with, we've been using for years, Core 5 rating unlimited licenses with School Success Partnership renewal. Once again, this was paid for with ESSER funding previously, and it will be paid in textbook funds now. The amount on that is $189,960. The next item is the Interpreter Network. This is for sign language interpreting services. We're increasing that from not to exceed $20,000 to $200,000, and that is because we have more students requiring sign language interpreting services. The last one is with Kinetic Physical Therapy and Wellness Incorporated, and it is for exceptional children contracted personnel, and we're increasing it from not to exceed $900,000 to $1,800,000. So, on behalf of the Instructional Services Committee, I move that we approve all of these contracts requiring our approval.
Second.
It's been moved moved by Ms. Boyette, seconded by Mrs. Powell, that we approved the contracts of AYA, Exceptional Children Contracted Personnel, not to exceed $90,000. Dragonfly Vision LLC, Exceptional Student Contracted Personnel, not to exceed $90,000. Instructure, Mastery View Predictive Assessments, Item Bank, Desmos Tools, and Master Connect subscription for $142,725.13. Lexia, Power Up Literacy Student Subscription Renewals, Core 5 Reading Unlimited License with School Success Partnership Renewal in the amount of $189,960. The Interpreter Network, Sign Language Interpreting Services, that is being increased from $20,000 to not to exceed $200,000. And Kinetic Physical Therapy and Wellness, Inc., Exceptional Children Contracted Personnel, increased from not to exceed $900,000 to $1.8 million. Is there any discussion? All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Ayes have it, motion carries.
The next item is Wilson County Schools must identify and be approved to participate in the Alternative Schools Accountability Model. This happens each year, and schools using option B, these were all explained to us today, are options, and schools using option B are included in the North Carolina Accountability Reporting and Every Student Succeeds Act. The administration is suggesting that we participate again in option B. That is for Daniels Learning Center. It is the Alternative Schools Progress Model, which Daniels has participated in for this current school year. So on behalf of the Instructional Services Committee, Mr. Chair, I move that we approve option B for Daniels Learning Center Alternate Schools Progress Model.
Second.
All right, it has been moved by Mrs. Boyette, seconded by Mr. Breen and Ms. Powell, that we approve option B for Daniels Learning Center Alternative School Model. Is there any discussion? All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Ayes have it, motion carries unanimously. Mrs. Boyette?
Oh, this one was a happy day, happy day. Our next action item is moving about the Proficiency Summer School Program for 2025. It includes some changes to the plan that we had approved a little earlier because with information we received from DPI that is going to allow us to use the last days of school and staff, June 5th through June the 17th, for additional instruction, post-testing, and then the retesting. And this will benefit, we look forward to it because we won't require additional buses, and we're hoping it will boost our participation of those that will take part in a second chance on the end of grade test, the end of course test, the North Carolina Extend 1, and the EOC English 2, NC Math 1 and NC Math 3, and the Extend 1 Grade 10 English 2, and the North Carolina Math 1. So on behalf of the Instructional Services Committee, Mr. Chair, I move that we approve the revised proficiency summer school plan for 2025.
Second.
All right, it has been moved by Mrs. Boyette and seconded by just about the entire board, but seconded by Ms. Powell, Mr. Breen, Dr. Fitch, and Mr. Batts, that I don't think we're going to have a problem with this one passing. That we approve the revised proficiency summer school 2025. Is there any discussion? All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Nay. Ayes have it. Motion carries unanimously.
Our last item is revised policy 3460, graduation requirements. This is a second reading, and the changes were just to bring everything in line with the new additions in the diploma endorsements. So on behalf of the Instructional Services Committee, Mr. Chair, I move that we approve revised policy 3460, graduation requirements.
Second.
All right, it has been moved by Mrs. Powell, Mrs. Boyette, my apologies. It's been seconded by Ms. Powell and Dr. Fitch that we approve the revised policy 3460, graduation requirements, second reading. Is there any discussion? All in favor of the motion? Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Ayes have it, motion carries unanimously. Does that conclude your report?
That concludes my report.
All right, so we are looking for Ms. Powell.
Okay. I move that the Wilson County Board of Education go into closed session to consider confidential personnel matters as provided in the North Carolina General Statute 143-318.11A1 and 6 and 115C-319 through 321. To consider confidential student matters as provided in the North Carolina General Statute 143-318.11A1 and the North Carolina General Statute 115C-402 and the Family Educational Rights and Privacy Act 20, United States Code 1232G, and to consult with the Board of Education attorney and preserve the attorney-client privilege as provided in the North Carolina General Statute 143-318.11A3.
Second.
All right, it's been moved by Ms. Powell, seconded by Mrs. Boyette, that the Wilson County Board of Education go into closed session to consider confidential personnel matters as provided in NCGS 143-318.11A1 and 6 and 115C-319 through 321 to consider confidential student matters as provided in NCGS 143-318.11A1 and NCGS 115C-402 and the Family Educational Rights and Privacy Act 20 USC 1232G, and to consult with the Board of Education attorney and preserve the attorney-client privilege as provided in NCGS 143-318.11A3. Is there any discussion? All in favor, aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Ayes have it, motion carries unanimously, and we are in closed session.